Welcome to Lititz. That's a kind sign, isn't it?
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Welcome Center.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take a look at that. Pennsylvania Railroad Forest Pacific. Passenger locomotive of the world. Wow.
Big kettle.
Didn't realize Canada had that. Didn't have as many railways. Wow. Western Europe is filled with railways.
Oh yeah.
And look at all the ones in South America and Africa. There's India, Afghanistan, Iran, China. And why wouldn't there be as many railways in Japan? Trio of Harley riders. Sure is lovely here. Oh look, there's a caboose. He hath done what he could.
Okay. Looks like this is a Caboose Museum.
The Lititz Caboose was purchased by the Lititz Springs Park Board Caboose Community in 2000. This rail car was restored by Gerhard Machinery Company and of Lititz and dedicated July 1st, 2001. The caboose is a complementary companion to the replica of the 1884 Lititz Passenger Depot and Express Station known as the Lititz Welcome Center.
Do you want to take a look inside?
Just try and stop me.
Okay.
We are free, but a $1 donation is appreciated. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You first.
Please keep off the top clock.
How did they travel
Got
from
bunk beds.
How did they travel from one end of the picture? Did they ever travel from one end of the picture?
Well, isn't this some fine caboose photography? Oh, we got some model trains on this side.
Okay.
Oh, and a camelback locomotive.
Okay, I'll be done now. Bye. Have a good day. Thank you.
Very well. How are you?
Now you definitely would have been a conductor or a flagman back here, because you're slightly the opposite of me, and they were looking for beefy,
Oh,
hunky
yeah.
guys to work back here. I've been passed over a dozen times because there's nothing. You would have been either a conductor or a flagman back here on the on each side up there, and they were the eyes of the entire freight train until computers and electronics came out in the late 60s. So they began losing their jobs to things that are along the tracks, which inspect the cars as they go by.
Yes.
And then 1984, Mr. Fred was invented, and he's the little, at the end of the train with a mini computer and an LED flashing red light. So, did our cabooses.
Wow.
So,
That's
in
interesting.
the old days, these were required on the back of a train, whether you had one freight car or 201 freight cars. And every time I try to talk, this thing interrupts me. This is the one you're in. This is a 1942 Jersey Central caboose with a Reading makeover. That was the only year that the Jersey Central would build 50 of these standard cars. They were copied from Reading cabooses. These were all built in May, so this little guy next month will be 80 years old.
Wow.
Just in time to have a steel exterior. And of all Reading's 295 cabooses from 1924 through 1948, 1942 was the only year that they would not be able to use steel. And that's because right after the last of these was built, our government sent all the steel for the war efforts.
Yeah.
So we had the steel underframes stockpiled. But we had to use a wood exterior for all 50 of our cabooses.
Okay.
The very first one was built in June, the very next month after all these steel cars came out. And then they got smart and waited until September, anticipating that it would be back right away. But not so. September, October, the other 49 were built. So from 1924 through 1941, 3/4 of their cars were built with steel, and then the last two groups in 44 and 48 were back to a steel exterior.
Very interesting. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
We're glad you got to stop in and visit.
Yes. Thank
Our
you.
Southern Pacific coal stove, we tore that apart about 5 years ago after getting it in 2010, donated to us because we were pretty sure it wasn't a Reading or a Jersey Central.
Okay.
Even though they're all hourglass shaped, and there's an inscription from the Aspie inside there. So it was 90% for heat, 10% for cooking. This obviously I call our little cheater.
Yeah.
And that's because for the first 20 years this car was in service, we ain't got no electricity in here.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was about that size. It was an ice box. And people come in here and say, are you nuts? Why would you put something you want to keep things cold to next to something that is very hot?
For heat,
Well,
yes.
The stove's in the correct position, but our ice box was behind, or right between the two lockers on the right.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay.
where the ice box was.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Is our little donation for your donation, and welcome
Oh.
to take one along.
Well,
if
thank
want.
you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm assuming the back over there is where the brakes are located.
The brakes for the caboose. Brake wheel on either end of the car,
Oh.
and the brake wheels you turn clockwise and the chain, big chain at the bottom in the center. The chain comes all the way into our truck, which is right about right underneath your feet.
Okay.
And as you turn that chain pulls out and pulls your brake shoes in against the wheels. So your freight cars and passenger cars all have one brake wheel on one end, but your Cabooses had one on both ends. So,
That's interesting.
page 1 and 2 on there is about everything we were talking about on here.
Okay.
You need to study that because next week there will be a quiz,
Okay.
and I'll come after you if you don't come to take it. And on the back is our Reading Railroad Heritage Museum. That is up in Hamburg, PA.
Okay.
About 33 miles away from Lititz, about 35 miles away from the railroad's namesake, Reading. This is Lancaster County. They're in neighboring Berks County. So if you get up there, they're open on weekends. And you will see this is one of the 5 1942 Reading wood cars that are left today. We also have 4 of about 45 of their steel cars that still exist today, plus about 70 pieces of Reading Railroad equipment, everything from diesel locomotives to passenger and freight cars to cabooses, and they will let you out in our yard after you go
Okay.
through our
At Hamburg.
museum. Hamburg.
We're gonna. We need to do that.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Very easy to get. Route 30 in here to 222 North, and just
Yeah.
stay on 222 North, and then hit Route 61 North now.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to have our displays there, but before
Okay.
we opened our museum up in Hamburg, we ran all of our stuff out of a couple of passenger cars.
Okay. Well, we went up to Jim Thorpe back in
Yes, now,
September.
If you go that far, you've gone past it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Have a happy Easter.
You too. Don't eat too much.